Welcome to the start of the distance learning series on the Haydn Harmoniemesse. We do not yet have this piece programmed. Once we're back in routine, I'll be keen to put it to the programme committee. Of course, first we will have our Jubilee season and the rescheduling of the Brahms Requiem and the Rutter Bernstein concert, which will also include the winner of the composing competition. But as soon as we are able, we will be doing the Harmoniemesse, I promise. In Germany, a harmonie is a wind band, and this is where the title comes from, nothing to do with harmony in the sense of chords in Britain. So in the Harmoniemesse, Haydn uses the woodwind as a major element of the orchestration. Usually in a Haydn mass, there's just a few woodwinds simply punctuating the strings or playing a bit of melody here and there. But here the whole orchestration is characterised by the woodwind and indeed sometimes the brass acting as a sort of almost a separate band within the orchestra. It's my favourite of the Haydn masses, though I've not been involved in a performance of it for nearly 40 years. I sung it once and conducted it, I think, in 1981. Thanks yet again to the performers who you see on the video, Ruth Provost and Ruth Massey and Charles Patterson, and of course the inimitable Michael Overbury. And thanks to Brad and Jeff Sutton for putting it all together. Today we're looking at the first movement, the Kyrie. There is a YouTube link on the start page for you when you want to hear the piece with orchestra. It's got the score on the screen for you to follow. It's a very good performance, but some of the pronunciation uses current German conventions, so don't try to emulate that or worry about how they're pronouncing it. In some movements of the piece, we'll be missing out longer passage of the solos, but we've presented the Kyrie here complete. The singers are singing in the solo parts, but you will hear there are some points where they'll simply miss out a few notes in order to get the choral parts in, i.e. where there's an overlap or no time for them to breathe between one and the other. So now to the detail of the piece, which will often be to do with breathing, of course. I'm not 100% sure about the page numbers of the edition that we'll be using, as we haven't got those at the time I'm recording. But I will navigate by means of the figures in the score, figure A, etc. The easy thing about this movement is there's only 3 different words, and they're of course always shaped by growing towards the lay syllable of eleison. Kyrie eleison, Christe eleison. So you don't need to think about the shaping, just always grow towards the second syllable of eleison, and you'll find that Haydn always will put the most interesting harmony just on that syllable. Another general rule is to make sure the last note of phrases is full length. So for example, the bar after figure A, the syllable zon is a full crotchet. It'd be very easy to make this note too short while phrasing off. Watch out for this all the way through the mass, but especially in this movement, because in fact a crotchet is a pretty long note at this slow speed. 4 bars after B, everyone a quick breath before Christe, and again at the comma, 2 before C. Bass is the bar after C. Be ready for this B flat. It's on a page turn in my copy and maybe in yours, so it's particularly tricky. Breathe at the commas in the overlapping passage following figure C, everybody, but not in the 6th bar after C before eleison, where there is not a comma. Sorry, sopranos. At D, everybody be ready for the syncopated entry. If you don't think about it, you will come in on the 2nd beat rather than the half beat. After E, 7 to 10 bars, the middle parts breathe at the commas, but no one where there is no comma, even where the words repeat. 7 after F, no breath between the repeated eleisons. 2 before G, everyone be careful to find their starting note. Again, it's on a page turn in the copy I'm working from, so it may be in yours too. Straight after G, this may seem inconsistent, but it isn't in terms of the different tunes. Sops, no breath after the first comma, but do breathe after the second. Altos, no breath at the comma. Basses do breathe at the comma. In the 5th of G, altos, no breath at the comma again. After this, there's no more breathing to mark in or tricky note issues to highlight, so that's all that needs to be said about the Kyrie. I hope you enjoy learning it. See you next time when we're looking at the first half of the Gloria.